Okay, starting on the Batmobile from the 1989 Tim Burton movie. This was actually it's been on my list to do for a long time, but I really wanted to put some lights in here, and I had an idea for the turbo, the turbo engine in the back, and like flickering lights, this, that, and the other. And yeah, it turns out that by the end of this build, I ended up buying a second set of photo etch pieces because I wanted to put some photo etch detail on there. Lost a few pieces during the painting process, so it's like you lose those and you can never find them again. So I picked up a second set of photo etch, and I ruined the glass for the canopy, and decided, okay, well, I'm gonna have to get a second Batmobile as well. So I ordered another one, and I've got a special project in line for the second kit, which actually should be really cool. So we'll take a look at that in the future. But as far as the kit goes, pretty straightforward build. There's some chrome pieces there. I'll just soak those in some simple green or bleach, whatever I have, and strip that chrome off so I can actually paint it so it looks a little bit more realistic. You got your rubber tires, you've got your clear parts there, and I think it's like three or four trees there with the rest of your parts, and then of course your top and bottom of the vehicle itself. So okay, giving the parts a nice soapy wash here. Just want to get the mold release off of everything so the paint sticks, no problems. This is a step that a lot of people like to skip, but I still go with it every time I build a plastic kit, because I've had some issues in the past where eventually the paint just starts to flake off, and it does happen. Oh, who's that guy? Alright, so the flickering light that I'm going to use for the turbo engine is a flickering tea light. All I did was just take one of these, pull out the soldering iron, take off the lights. I was debating whether I want to do like three together in a series and make it a lot brighter, but I ended up just using one, and in the end, one was fine. I had no issues with it. It just seemed like trying to put three together was more of a pain in the butt than anything else. And there you go. There's a nice little flickering effect there. Little 99-cent tea light. Well, 99 cents for like two of them. So, all right. I'm starting to snip off the pieces here. These wings are the probably the most work you'll have to do on this entire kit, trying to get those seams filled in. Mine came out decent. There's still a few marks that I saw after the fact, but like I said, this kit was taking so long to get done, and then I had to order new pieces for it, and in the end it looks good. Yeah, if you look at it like at really close, like from like 2 inches away, yeah, you might see a couple marks on there where I didn't get the seam filled in all the way, but it looks good enough. And to fill in those seams, I just used Vallejo plastic putty. And this is like probably one of the first times I've really used as much of that as I did. The putty I usually use either like Tamiya or Squadron, but this it was actually really cool because it came right out of the squeeze bottle, out of the dropper bottle, and I was able to just fill in those seams and then just keep going with it. As soon as it dried, I put a little bit more in there, and then once everything had cured, I started to sand everything away. And I used 2 different grits of sandpaper. Didn't use something that's like was really gonna mar up the body of the Batmobile, but just enough to break down the putty so I could get a finer sandpaper in there and clean it up a little bit. and doing the finger test, and then a damp paper towel there. I did notice that the Vallejo plastic putty, it does reactivate a little bit when you put when it gets wet. So I just instead of like having a wet paper towel, I just dampened one up a little bit just to clean it up so I'd get that dust off of there. Okay, going in now with some steel wool, grade 00 or double aught. Saw this technique on Trekworks. Boyd over there, he uses steel wool on a lot of his kits. Just gives it a good once over. It's not coarse enough where it's going to like mar up the body, but it really cleans it up so your primer will stick a little bit better and your paint will have a much better finish on it. And this is the first time I've actually used steel wool like this, and I was kind of leery about it at first, but in the end it came out really well. Then I just took my airbrush and just nothing in there, just to get off any little remnants after I got done with it. And any kind of little lines that you see right now, those get covered up with primer as soon as I spray it on there. Alright, for the chrome pieces, some simple green, which is so old it's really not green anymore. It's more of like a greenish brown, but hey, over this way. There we go. Okay. Handheld, yeah. It happens. But yeah, I soaked it in that for a while, and what you don't see here is I think it's so old it didn't work. So I just ended up getting some bleach, which ended up working a lot better than the simple green. It took it right down to the bare plastic, so I could once it got rinsed and dried off, I could paint it up, make it look really nice. Yeah, with chrome pieces, you don't want to put them on right off out of the kit. The glue doesn't stick well unless you scrape the chrome off. The paint won't stick to it same way, so it's just easier just to clean that chrome off there. Alright, yeah, these sides here, not as simple as I thought they were going to be, but once I got one on, figured it out. The other one went on easier, so. But as we're doing this right here, we just hit over 500 subscribers recently, so thank you so much. Everyone who's subscribed, I really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, please consider it. Making our way up there, and I'm really going to be spending the second half of the year here really promoting some smaller channels, because yeah, small channels need love too. So alright, back to the build here. This super glue, this CA, it's meant for photo etch pieces, and it gives you a little bit more working time than regular CA. So in case like something gets on there and you got to move it a little bit, you've got a little extra time to do it. But yeah, these are the photo etch pieces for the dashboard. Most of it I had to file down, which, ooh, shaky camera. Either file down or shave off, just like that right there. And the photo etch is nice because it gives you a lot more detail than just the plastic. But it can be difficult to work with at times. Just like keep your camera steady. Yeah, some of these photo etch parts I didn't use because it's like, hey, there's some that they're like windshield wipers. There's a windshield wiper track. They get pretty detailed. And just goes in there just like that. And then even the headrests there had some photo etch added to them. All right, now this part right here, I wanted to make the headlights translucent so the light would shine through from the other side, but I couldn't really cut out the inside of the original piece because there'd be nothing for it to hold on to. So what I did was I took there's a product called Blue Stuff. It's for like simple mold making using just like hot water and the substance. It's like a waxy plastic type substance. Well, mine is clear, it's not blue, but same principle. So I just made a mold of the two headlamp pieces there, and using some 3D resin, the translucent, I just put some in a pipette and drop some in there, and I'll hit it with my with a UV light here pretty soon. Yeah, the kit actually comes with clear headlight covers, but if the headlamps are completely black, you're not going to see anything except for what's on the other side of it. So I figured I'd try this out. I wanted to have some fun with it. I wanted to be able to see the light coming through and not have to try and cut out those headlights to the point where they wouldn't even fit in there. But yeah, I had a good time with that, and that's how that one is. That one's a little thick, which I ended up sanding down, but the other one is like perfect. And those fit in and just right. And then these side vents here, I ended up just sanding down the back end of it, because that's one of the photo etch pieces that is included with the kit. Are those those mesh pieces right there. So after sanding it down for a while, it gets to the point where it just peels right off, and then just clean that up a little bit and put the photo etch onto the back of it. There we go. Yeah, the photo etch is just gives you more detail. And that's what it turns out to. Looks pretty good like that. Alright, looking good. And the photo etch kit also gives you some bat symbols for your wheels and also for your steering wheel. Yeah, that was originally chrome, and you can see how it was stripped off of there. Alright, so yeah, that second one, I ended up doing another copy of it. That's the one that came out perfectly. The other one on the left hand side there, a little big, but I do sand it down and it fits into place just like that. And those are just a little bit of 5-minute epoxy just to get those in. And then to cover up any light leaks, I use this this tulip paint. It's like a fabric paint, perfect for light leaks. And it's got a nice little fine point tip on there on the applicator. So I just went in there and just cleaned that up. Beforehand, I put like a flashlight through there, and just to see if everything was covered up there. All right, this is my spray booth. This thing is loud. I purposely put some audio in there so you could hear how loud it is. Now it's down. And yeah, this is some taxidermy paint. It's an iridescent blue. I saw this also on an episode of Trekworks. Boyd was doing the Batwing, and he did a very light misting of the iridescent blue onto the hull of the ship. And there's a little bit of blue there on the bottom. You can see it. It comes out even lighter than that. I didn't want to turn it blue, I just wanted a hint of it, so in certain light you can see that. And there's a little bit of it right there. I really love the way that turned out. And the kit's already been sprayed with a flat black. Yeah, nothing too expensive. I think it was just one of the cans of flat black I had in my garage. But just going in there with the airbrush, cleaning it up, and adding some iridescent blue. All right, for lighting, headlights, brake lights, turn signals, and the turbo engine, and I also put some lights behind the dashboard, which looked really good for a long time, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, I don't know what happened, but they just look really dim now, so you can hardly even see them. So I don't even get any really big, like, good close-ups with the dashboard, but it's there, and I tried it, so maybe on the next one it'll look a lot better. Alright, using canopy glue for all the clear plastic pieces, all the window pieces. CA and regular model cement would fog them up, so canopy glue is your friend in these situations here. Alright, and then there's still a little bit of the chrome left on some of those pieces, so what I did was I just scraped them off, and that actual top of the gas cap is actually painted, so all I had to do was just clean up all the additional chrome that was still left on there, just so I could cement it in place. Alright, some Reichland Flesh Shade and some Nuln Oil mixed together just for some grime on the wheels, and I wanted to get in there, like make it look like brake dust. There we go. Because I'm sure even the Batmobile will get some brake dust on its wheels. Alright, we're getting to the point where we're putting the wheels on, and you can see the all that tangled wire over there. Yeah, this is probably, I could probably count the models I've lit on one hand. So there's still works in progress as far as I'm concerned. I'm still learning how to do everything, but I like the way it turned out at the end. Now this is just some black artist pastel that I crushed up on, or sanded down actually. And I'm just getting some black on the exhaust there. Okay, there's my sign to tell myself that I'm putting 2 coats on there. Make it look nice and charred there. All right. The lights are in. The 2 halves are put together. We are getting there. Headlights are looking good. Really happy the way that turned out. And there's the dashboard that you can barely see the color. Alright, here's where I was looking for light leaks, and you can see them right there where I have my finger. So what I do with that is I take some of that tulip paint and I just fill in the gaps. Okay, so we're about done with this one, so final reveal is coming up. I hope you liked this one. I had a fun time with it. It was a pain in the butt in some spots, but it's done. So we'll see you in the next video. Hey, check out the playlist on the left if you want to see more content, and the subscribe button is right there on the right hand side. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next one.